just because I brought these kids into this world, I do not own them. The reality of it is your kids are going to experience things in this life that you would have never want them to experience, but they're going to have to experience it anyway.
Yeah.
That is their journey. The real world is going to happen whether you want it to or not. I've also fallen guilty of not preparing my children, and that is something that I absolutely have to get better at.
Does preparing them look like just letting them make some decisions on their own?
1000%. It's letting them bump their head. I saw something that said if I had to give 2 words of the way that you should parent your children, it is to be stern but kind. What I'm now learning is probably the best thing that I could do for all of my children, from the oldest to the youngest.
No matter how many motivational speeches I give my son, no matter how many heart-to-heart conversations we have, and I tell him about the experiences that I've dealt with when I was his age, all these great things, right? Again, like I say, all the great advice that I possibly could give him just from my own personal life experiences, he will not learn from what I'm telling him versus how much he's going to learn from what he experiences. He can learn from what I'm telling him, but what he's experiencing and what he's going to go through, he can learn a lot more from. So I'm not going to say that he can't. I'm going to say that he'll be able to adjust if that thing does happen. If he's actually taking heed to what I'm saying, if everything that I'm saying is registering to him and not just going into one ear and not the other, I can give him advice on what to do when that time comes. Or he can just be like, hey, my dad told me in this situation, I need to, yeah, cool, of course. But how many things go on in our humanly brain that sometimes we just forget certain things? It's certain stories and certain, you may not remember all the details on the advice that your parents gave you, but you might in some situations. But you're not going to learn from those situations until, you're in it, you're crying, you're hurt from it, you went through it, you got burned in the situation, metaphorically speaking, you dealt with the hurt, you dealt with all of the, the extra stuff that comes with just life experiences. Your parents could tell you and you could tell your kids all the best things you possibly can. And sometimes it just won't be enough. You can tell that kid that fire is hot. They have to go and see if that fire is hot. I love to use that analogy, by the way.
Is be stern, have boundaries, even as a mom, right? Have boundaries, set things in order, but be kind in my approach. I was not always kind in my approach because I always thought that it had to be my way or no way. My oldest daughter was the greatest teacher of this because she was a rebel. If I say go left, she automatically wanted to go right. And we bumped heads for years. We struggled a great deal with that.
I believe that's why me and my son really, I've never whooped my son. We've only had conversations. I've never had to yell at him. Maybe when he was a little kid or something, put that down or don't do, maybe. But I can't even recall the time where I had to actually get I'm upset, I'm mad. And my son is the most respectful, well-mannered, great student, athletic. You know what I'm saying? Very chill, very calm, very articulate. All of that. It worked out well. And for some situations, I'm not saying that everybody's situation is going to work out the same with being that calm, cool parent that is open-minded enough, but at the same time, still going to give life lessons because, I'll let my son be who he wants to be. But at the same time, we have conversations. You know what I'm saying? Don't get it messed up. These videos, this ain't just me just rambling and talking. I'm like this in real life, in real time. So me and my son have real conversations and I don't hide anything from him. I expose him to everything. I make sure that he knows about everything in a respectful way, like a father should, like a parent should. And of course, he has a great mother and he has great grandparents and all of that. So, of course, they always say it takes a village, but that's one thing that I pride myself on as being a father. I love to have those conversations where he's going to know when life comes about, okay, my dad said, or we've had these talks before, or thank you, Dad. I remember you gave me this advice. Those things like that, it creates a kid to be themselves and feel free. Like I always tell him, if there's anything you want to talk about, come to me. I don't care what it is. Never feel embarrassed. Never feel ashamed. You know what I mean? Because that's just a part of life. We're going to be shy in some moments. We're going to be timid. We're going to hold back. We're going to be scared. All of these things are going to happen, but never be afraid because that's not how you succeed. And that's not how you conquer life, by being afraid. You got to go out and attack this mug headstrong. You know what I mean? Be a king, hold your head high, win, lose, or draw. So make sure that you're talking to your kids about, being vulnerable, being open, you know what I'm saying? And being strong and all of these things. Never shelter them from anything because that's going to make them more curious about things. my mom told me I can never do this, and now I'm gonna do it. Or my mom told me I can't. I'm gonna go behind her back and do it. I'm gonna go behind my dad's back, and you know what I'm saying. So that's just one of those things.
It was really her journey. I was supposed to keep her safe for the amount of time that I was able to keep her safe. And when I could no longer keep her safe and I could no longer like shield her from even me and my ego and what I wanted for her life is now teaching her things and she's able to see and she's doing all right.
That's dope. That's dope. And she gonna continue to do all right. You know what I'm saying? That's good. That's dope that the parent learned from that too, though. Because I'm gonna say this. A lot of parents get stuck in their ways, especially the older parents. And I get it. The grandparents, even the grandparents that raise kids or whatever, like that's why some of us have parents that are just so stuck and they just stern. It's like, you got this from your mom and then your mom. I see why. You got this from grandma or you got this from grandpa. I see. But it's dope to be able to have that kind of parent that grows with you. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, dang. My child taught me something. My mom learned with me. My dad learned, for those that have their pops.
Creative side. When they come to us with ideas, let your kids be kids. We have to nurture our kids' imagination and creative side. When they come to us with ideas and inventions, we can't be like, oh, that won't work. Oh, that's stupid. Because the moment you start doing that is the moment they start giving up. And we don't.
Imagine telling your mom or your dad your dreams and they belittle them. They make you feel so small in a world that already makes you feel like an ant. Imagine telling somebody that you look up to, you know what I'm saying? Or somebody that's like your superhero, you know what I mean? That, hey, I got this idea. Or, hey, I want to go and do this. And they shoot you down in a sense. And it's like, wow. And it crushes your dreams and it crushes the broad imagination you have. And it kind of makes you take a step back and question yourself. It's like, dang, okay, maybe I can't do this. And that one thing that you probably needed that motivation from, or that just little bit of like push from your mom or dad, was that one thing that you were going to succeed in. But they ended up destroying that vision that you had set out for yourself. And man, it's nothing like regret. Even if you fail at something, it's nothing like living with a regret on what if, or I should have. No, do it. Even if you got to be a rebel, even if you got to go against your parents, even if you know in your heart, like this is what you want, you put blood, sweat, and tears into it day in and day out, you lock in with it and you show them. Now you're living with that thought of, I got to show my parents because they don't believe in me. And now you build up resentment, and now you build up with that I told you so mentality. And that, man, for some, people never get out of that. People never get out of that. I got to prove to my parents that I'm not what they think. Or I am more than what they think of me, because obviously they don't think enough of me to support what I'm putting in front of them. And that's wild for your parent not to support. My son could come to me and tell me he's going to be the first kid to create steps to go to outer space. And I'm going to be like, son, how many ladders do you need? How many? I'm going to give you as much money as I can to support you. And I don't know how many ladders you can get with this, but here go a couple thousand. Like, that's just how much I believe in my son. I don't care what he do. He can tell me whatever, and I'm backing him 1,000%. I am your number one supporter. I'm your number one fan.
Want them to give up because they felt like the person whose opinion matters the most to them told them that's stupid. It won't work. Let that sink.
Maybe the kids wouldn't be so grown if y'all would actually let them participate in some kid shit. I'm being so for real, okay? Like, I don't know if some of you know this or not, but some shit really is just supposed to be for the babies. Just for the kids, just for the little ones. Because you see, a child needs constant enrichment. A toddler needs to be entertained 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, or they'll throw a temper tantrum, right? But you are grown as fuck. So why are you sitting here acting like you can't be bored for a few hours so your baby can go do some baby shit? I'm serious. I'm tired of listening to y'all complain about how you took your baby to the park but then made them leave after 30 minutes because you didn't feel like sitting up there. Or how you took your baby to their fellow kindergarten classmates' birthday party and then were so offended that you had to sit amongst other adults sober for a few hours because they decided to not serve alcohol at the 6-year-old's birthday party. Oh, is you cool? Y'all don't want to take them to the park. Y'all don't want to take them to the children's museum. Y'all don't want to take them bowling. Y'all don't want to take them roller skating. Y'all don't want to take them to do arts and crafts. Y'all don't want to take them to do nothing that don't involve you being able to get a drink and shake your ass or watch some ass shake. And that is just the piss poor, pitiful ass truth about it. If your ass ain't being entertained and enriched and having fun, then can't nobody have damn fun. Y'all sit up here, have all these damn babies, and then sit around arguing with them like you one of their damn siblings. I don't want to do that. I don't want to go here. I don't want to go there. I don't want to take y'all there. Well, guess what? They don't want to sit up under your drunk, whining ass all day, every day either. But they ain't got no choice. And yes, your big grown ass is gonna be bored. You wanna know why? Because the play place age range is 3 to 10. You're 37. You'll be fine. World is not.
Shout out to all of the moms that don't mind getting active with their kid at the park. I think it's definitely important for the kids to, sorry, I'm a little under the weather, but I think it's super important for kids to mingle with other kids, and also too for that kid to know that my parent doesn't mind. This is why it's one of those tricky things where having a kid late can be a bummer. You know what I mean? It kind of can be like, dang, you know. And of course, you don't want to have a kid too early because you're not prepared, but who's truly prepared for having a child? I get it. It's one of those things that we can go back and forth about all day. I know. But for those that don't mind, that can actually get physical with their kid, man, kids love that. That right there was one of those moments that is unmatched. You know what I mean? No amount of high priced shoes or a high priced toy can never compare to times like that. Me and my son riding bikes, you know what I'm saying? Me teaching him how to tie his shoe, moments like that. Me telling him to get up when he fall off his bike and he scraped his leg. And I'm like, nah, son, you good. Get back up. You're all right. Stuff like that, man. I'm telling y'all, it does so much to a kid's brain that those are memorable moments that they latch on to and they'll never forget. So, man, put that phone down. It's okay to go out there. I used to love, me and my son used to box. He used to have the gloves on. I used to hold the mitts for him. I mean, we would go so many places, to the mountain, climb the mountain. And I'm talking about a little kid. I remember him being younger, doing like 200 push-ups at the barbershop. I think he did something, I forgot. Or maybe we were just bored. I don't know what it was, but that was one of his punishments. Do push-ups. Because I just didn't believe in putting my hands on him. But just moments like that, just being physical, creating that, you know what I mean? And for the moms who have daughters, again, I don't know, you know, what that consists of, doing hair, girly stuff, all that stuff like that matters, versus you just handing them a device and just to shut them up, you want to give them a device. It's like, no, do something with them.
Man, I ain't trying to cry, but let me read something. It's been on my phone for 5. Break generational curses. Quit yelling at your kids before they go to bed and expect them to sleep well. Quit yelling at your kids in the morning right after they wake up before school and expect them to have a good day. You set the tone for your children. You set the tone for your voice. They will always remember in their heads. You become their inner voice. Don't be their inner critic. Speak life, speak love, speak bravery, kindness and hope. Speak wisdom and truth. Most of all, listen to your children.
Wow. That's real, man. I think treating your kid like they're a person, like they're heard, is super essential. It's super important. Letting them know that they can speak their mind if they need to. And it's okay to cry. It's okay to feel pain. Again, like I said, it's okay to be embarrassed. All of these humanly things that we go through emotion-wise. And even for a young man, I get it, man. I know. Me being a dad, having a son, you know, it's times where I was rough on my son. Again, like I said before, he fall. I'm telling him, get back up. You good? You all right? Dust it off. But at the same time, man, it was times where I used to just hug my son. You know what I mean? Or it was times where I just look at him and I shed a tear. You know what I'm saying? It's so many pictures of us. You know, we laid up in the bed. We both tired, but I'm hugging him and I'm embracing him. I'm showing him love. Time we go to the movies, I got my arm around him in a line. You know what I'm saying? I'm just affectionate with him, showing him that it's okay for us to be tough. But it's also too okay for us to show emotion and be affectionate with each other. As men, I get that. That's not a common thing. I heard somebody on a podcast that I watched. I'm not even going to put him out, but he was telling people on the podcast and talking to the audience, of course, too, at the same time, how he don't even hug his son and tell him that he love him. He was like, man, I had to get to a point where I had to start like wiring my brain because he didn't grow up like that. You know what I mean? So I just never wanted that dynamic. I always wanted my son to, when we lock hands, we hug. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, of course, now I don't do it now. He's older. It's not, we don't do the mushy stuff like that now. But for sure, when he was younger, man, I just wanted that dynamic of like love on top of it being we kings at the same time. And ain't nobody gonna play with us. I wanted him to know and have that balance as a man and not dehumanize him. I wanted him to always feel like a human. So, and speaking life into him and being positive and giving him all the positive affirmations, man, I do that daily. I do that to this day. I always tell him I love him. I'm proud of him. And again, anything he want to talk about, he doesn't mind talking to me about it. And that's my dog, man. That's my best friend. Love you, champ, for sure.
Their life because you want them to feel how you feel right now. Let them be a child. Let them grow up a little bit later. Let them do what they want to do. Let them stay up late. Let them make stupid decisions. Let them play video games if they want to play video games. It's called being a kid. That's a thing that should be embraced because it's going to end one day. And then at some point, they're going to look back at those years being like, fuck, man, it was so nice being able to get on your bike and just bike to your friend's house and hang out for 12 hours. I want him to be able to soak up those precious years of his life life and enjoy the process before he has to go and pay bills, get a job, and become a regular human being in society.
Not for sure. Before they start turning into robots, you want them to actually, know what life is like before that and actually enjoy it. I think this was a great video, man. Y'all know me. If y'all don't know me, I can ramble and talk all day. I really want to know what y'all think about this video in the comments section below. I've been trying to do these, if you could tell, I don't know if you want to call them social experiments, but I've been doing more relatable videos when it comes to just like humanly things. And I mean, trauma, I did a video about black parents and low haircuts and stuff like that. So I want to do more relatable videos, you know what I'm saying? To kind of shy away from the whole talking about other people's personal life that I have no idea about, like famous celebrities and all of that, which is cool because I'm trying to build my page. But at the same time, I want to mix this real life stuff in the mix, you know what I'm saying? So y'all let me know what y'all think about this in the comment section below. Hello or goodbye, talk to me. Do not yell at me. We elevating to we hit our head. We ain't bleeding yet. Spread love, not hate. I see y'all when I see y'all. Be great. Go on.